Hello, everyone. This is Chris G, and I wanted to talk about something that it really, stood out to me. It's something that I think is a very, serious issue with people in America, and I think also throughout the world. And I just wanted to speak on it. And basically, it's the situation that took place with the recent tragedy of the passing of actress Audrey Plaza, her husband Jeff, I believe it's Baena, and Jeff was a writer and director who had graduated from New York film school, and he eventually ended up, he graduated with a degree in film, and he eventually ended up moving to California. And he unfortunately was uh, found, unalive in his, I believe, in his home, and this was in early January of 2025. And the Los Angeles County, the medical examiner ended up saying that the cause of death uh, of him, not being alive, they said the cause was suicide and self deletion. And you know, um, some people. I've heard different things. I think some people. I think I was reading somewhere. Some people were saying he may have been, suffering from depression. There may have been some other things that were on his mind. Um, but it's no matter what happened, it's really tragic that he ended up unaliving himself. I'm trying to speak a certain way. I don't want the algorithm to act a certain way with saying certain words. So just bear with me. I'm trying to keep up with it. If I don't, I made an honest mistake. But um, some people also were saying that his wife, Audrey, who basically he started seeing back in 2011, and then they finally got married in 2021, if I read correctly. There, some people were saying that it's possible that Audrey may have been maybe had been cheating on Jeff with a possible individual named Gerard Carmichael, who was a comedian and also an actor. But from what sources say, excuse me, excuse me, what some sources are saying is that Gerard is openly a part of the LGBT community. So they're saying that it's possible that he does not have interest in being intimate with women. I think that's a possible possibility. He may possibly be another part of that community where he may be bi. I'm not exactly 100% sure. But we really don't know exactly what what has gone on behind closed doors with Audrey and her husband. They may have had some possible marital problems. I don't think we'll ever truly know. But these are just some things that I had been hearing of. And also, just to talk about some of the work Jeff has done. Jeff has also directed the movie called Joshi, came out in 2016, and also the movie The Little Hours, which came out in 2017. That's just some of the work that Jeff has done. And Jeff, he had passed at age 47, still a young man that's gone too soon. Excuse me. And I'm saying all this stuff, to say that Jeff was from what I've looked on about him, it seems like he was a pretty successful guy, was doing work in Hollywood, and his wife was also working as well. So it seemed like they were, being pretty successful as far as working is concerned, and probably making a pretty decent income. But there's no telling really what, like I said, what's happening behind closed doors. They may have had some issues, maybe not. And, also Jeff could have possibly had been, suffering from depression. Sometimes, if people do suffer from that, a lot of times hold that stuff inside. And, a lot of times they don't get help with it. And then eventually the depression it'll end up eating you up inside, and then eventually you start thinking of ways to try to alleviate yourself of the depression. And sometimes people choose the path of taking their own life, unfortunately. And I don't know if we'll exactly know ever why Jeff decided to go this route. I really wish Jeff could have gotten some help if he never did prior to this situation. I wish he really would have gotten some help, because taking your own life, that's a real serious thing, and self deletion. And I will say this though, and please forgive me if I sound possibly being rude, because I don't mean this. This is coming from a place of concern. If Jeff was suffering from some possible marital issues, I really wish he would have gotten some help for it, if that was the case, or the cause of his unfortunate situation that he did to himself. I wish he would have gotten some help. If Audrey was cheating on him, I just really wish he would have just taken another route to the situation, instead of doing what he ended up doing. Because if you do have marital situations, there is help that you can get for that. And also, if you believe that, if you really need to divorce that person, that might be the thing you have to do. And I know sometimes divorce can get messy, but if that's a route that you think you need to go, then you might need to go that route. And I know it could get really, really messy with finances and stuff, but that is definitely a possible way to handle that situation. And also, if you are suffering from depression, that's definitely something you really want to get help on. I know some people in my lifetime that has suffered from depression. I myself have suffered from episodes of depression, maybe not at a huge deep level, but I have suffered, from depressional states at certain times in my life. And you really, there's times you really got to fight hard through that. Some people have deeper, more severe levels of depression than others. And also, excuse me, when I was back, I remember back when I was in high school, many years ago, unfortunately, we did have some people that unfortunately they did take their own lives. There probably about a handful of young people back when I was in high school that did that. And it was just so sad, that happened. I can remember back, even as far back as when I was in middle school, junior high school. We had a young lady, who will remain anonymous. She ended up, unaliving herself. And that was the first time I ever dealt with somebody of my peer group doing something like that. Excuse me. And there's no telling what the young lady back in middle school, junior high school, there's no telling what she was going through, because sometimes people mask a lot of things, and that's why I always believe it's very important to get help when you can. And you don't have to be alone in your life dealing with this. There is ways to handle it, you know. And also thinking about people in modern days, let's say it's a person that let's say you are in a relationship and the lady's cheating on you, and you're not married, it's like, hey man, you can always just get out of the relationship, just have the breakup, and you can just go find another lady, because there is plenty of fish in the sea. As far as for women, there are plenty of, there's plenty of men out there in the sea. You know what I'm saying? No matter what your sexual preference is, there's somebody out there. There's a vast amount of people on earth. And taking your own life because somebody doesn't want to be with you, that's really not the way to go. I really believe that's not the way to go. So as I said earlier, this is a real tragic thing that happened to Jeff. May he rest in peace. But like I said, I just really hate the fact that he ended up having this happen. But I also want to say, if there's anybody that is having problems, I would really hope that you would get some help. They have suicide prevention hotlines. They also have they have also, like, groups that you can, talk to, be a part of the groups, and you can express yourself and have like a community to help you through difficult times in your life, because, as I said in one of my videos earlier, life is precious, and, you have one life, and you want to try to make the best of it that you can with your life. And if you have struggles along the way, it's a strong possibility that you can have people help you, get through those tough times. You might even go the spiritual route and try to help yourself too. If you believe in a higher power, that's another way to get help too. Not only just with groups and stuff or a hotline, but there is ways to get help. But rest in peace to Jeff, Baena. And if there's anybody out there that's suffering, you're thinking about possibly, unaliving yourself, um, please get help. Please get help, because there is help out there for you. And that's all I have to say about it. Just, rest in peace, Jeff.